This was the pinnacle of what I grabbed from Europe. This is what I was so excited about, and you're going to get to see it as I see it. So, you ready for this one?
Let's do it, man. All right, folks, we have got another awesome episode of Collections. Today, we've got the pleasure of speaking with Shane at Super JDM Diecast. Shane, how you doing, man?
Couldn't be better, man. How are you, David?
I'm doing great, and really good to talk with you tonight, Shane. Real excited to see your collection and let everybody else see it as well. That's what we do here on Collections, guys. We introduce other collectors to each other, and we show off our collections. It's really a pretty simple formula, but I'm having fun, and I think you guys are having fun seeing what everybody else has. So let's get right to it. Shane, Super JDM Diecast seems pretty self-explanatory as far as your channel, but I don't want to leave anything out. If you've got a lot of cool stuff as well as JDM, so tell us a little bit for those who, the one or two that haven't seen your channel. Tell us what we can expect when we go to your channel.
Yeah, for sure. So you got to know the development of the channel and kind of the way it started. So I have two boys, and being a dad with two boys, you come up with the different toys as they're getting older. Now, obviously, I had Hot Wheels as a kid too, and they're a different Hot Wheel than we have now. I'm sure you know.
Yep.
And as they got older, I started getting more and more Hot Wheels into their play area. And so as I did that, I really started to take a liking to some of the cars they were getting. And so
right.
I kind of went from dad's buying cars to, dad's starting to collect cars as well as buy cars for the boys. And then it was, I think, all new collectors. And if you come to my channel, you'll see it's an eclectic mix of not only JDM cars, but I love diecast in general. So if you come over to my channel, what you're going to see is a really eclectic mix of course, JDM cars, but I like to highlight some of the things that are exciting to me. And I even like to highlight some of the things that are exciting to my boys. So they all have they have their own genre of cars they like. My little guy, which is why the name is Super JDM car or Super JDM Diecast. He's a supercar guy. So he wanted there to be a merging of the names. And so that's why some people think, is it all supers? No, it's super for supercars. And so that's what he's always referred to them as. And that's the Lambos and the Ferrari. And I'm the JDM guy. So that's kind of what it is. But yeah, it's definitely not a channel for straight JDM, although that is a majority of what I look for. It's not all that I look for. And so, like you, I have an appreciation for diecast in general. So I definitely, it's apparent in my collection too. You'll see a lot more than just JDM tonight. Well, behind me is what I consider my main display. I'll get the camera rolling over here in just a second, but I'll kind of explain the thought process behind what's up here. So most collectors, I think, when you start out in this hobby, you kind of go a little bit hog wild. And it's you're out there buying everything that is licensed or everything that you think is a great looking casting. And that's kind of how my boys and I really got into this. Was we were grabbing everything. We didn't know the difference between a super or just a super great looking car. I try not to let the outside noise of what everybody's looking for or what everybody wants drive my collecting, because if I do that, two things happen. One, I feel like there's a lot of FOMO. Where you're out there consistently trying to catch up to the guy next door or the collector next door. And two, I feel like you're letting other people govern your collection. They're really dictating what you're collecting because that's what they're collecting and it's driving it. So watching the diecast breakdown, I started expanding beyond Hot Wheels and Matchbox, and I started looking at some of these European makers. And when we took our trip to Europe last year, we were able to be exposed to a lot more of those. And so I brought some of those back with me. So, I collect cars that I like, and I don't care who makes them. If it's one that I like, I will grab it. And some things that I get, people look a little side-eyed at me, but it's okay. And so without further ado, let's walk it around a little bit. Obviously, the JDM section is very, very predominant here. So as I go to the wall, and my wall is paneled off, as you can see, there's dividers that divide up the wall.
Yeah.
And it's mostly JDM here. I have a very big love for Zamac.
Yeah.
I don't know if
those are
that
cool.
stands out here, but this all the way is Zamac. And so of the store exclusives, they are probably my favorite. And it's because I love the raw look of that Zamac that comes from the Walmart exclusive. So as we move over, you're going to see that I have a very big passion for the Fast and the Furious. And so my Fast and the Furious pretty much runs the length of this wall through here. But there you go. There's a Camaro. There's a Mustang. I'm open, right? This style of car here, right? This is my wheelhouse. I love anything that is 70s square body. So that's where I get into my little Escort collection. If you guys can see this up here.
Oh, heck yeah.
My collect RS 1600s. There's my Shelby's up there at the top. And then, of course, the beginnings of my Bone Shaker. This is my wall. I call it the super wall. And this is about 70% found in the wild, about 20% trade, and 10% purchase up here.
Man, congratulations. Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Now, I've got to tell you guys, this is my first passion right here. This is what I collected before I was a Hot Wheels guy. And I started with the 80s stuff. So, yeah, diecast collectors, it's okay to collect other things than diecast. So I just thought I would showcase that a little bit to you, David, so you can see.
No, I love it, man.
I love G.I. Joe, and it's always been a part of my life since the early 80s. So down here, this is where I keep, let me see if I can open this up. Get a little light on the subject here. Maybe not. All right. We're not getting any light today. So hopefully everybody can see that these are the customs that have been made for me, and they get a special place inside of the cabinet. So I have some from New Collector. I have one from Jake over at Strictly Diecast, a couple of Big Daddies. I think these are from Nas over at Nostalgic, and I really want those to be highlighted as part of my collection. Mean a lot to me. I have some of the larger scale that is down in here as well. But speaking of, let's see if I can give you a demo of something that is from outside of the US. All right, here we go. Put it up here to the camera so you guys can all see this. This is from, I think the brand is called Ebro. And they are, I want to say they're Italian. And I'm not 100% sure, but they were very predominant during our trip to Italy. So there was a lot of Barago, but Ebro was everywhere. And this is a 143 scale. It's of the Honda S2000. But I was absolutely enamored with this car, and it just turned me on to a whole new genre. All right. So, all right, here we go. We'll keep panning around here. So as we come over here, I am a Matchbox guy too. So here's a little bit of the Matchbox collection, some of the collectors as we move up here.
Yep.
Love this set. I love the collector's editions. And for those people watching that don't know, these are premiums. These are rubber wheel real riders, just like you would see in, one of these guys. But Matchbox, to me, captures the best of a vehicle. I am a super Matchbox fan, and I did a little mini series not too long ago. I got about 5 episodes in where I was comparing Matchbox versus Hot Wheels. So who did it better?
Right.
All right. So let's go. We'll move down a little bit. Now we're getting into the more premiums, right? So the mini GTs.
There we go.
I know that Mark is a huge fan over at Datsun Man Diecast. He turned me on to the mini GTs, and I absolutely love the mini GTs. They're phenomenal, just phenomenal.
Agreed.
So if anybody's sleeping on mini GT, wake up. It's time to expand your horizons. I love the haulers. So here's my little lineup of haulers. Just kind of showing what's going on there.
Yeah, I love them, man.
But I absolutely, look, to me, again, I do jump all over the place, just like everybody does, I think. And I think that it's really just a matter of, Do I like it? Yes, I'll buy it.
No,
Yeah.
you
The,
said some key things there, Shane. Like I don't know if you said it exactly like this, but I say your collection can work you, or you could work your collection. You gotta you gotta focus it somehow, just like you were talking about.
yeah. And one of the other channels that I watch, David, it's the Hotline of Diecast, and he
Yep.
says something about once or twice every episode. It does not have to be a super to be a super casting. If it's one that I don't have and I've been waiting for them to release it, I really get excited in the same way, and I hunt for it the same way as people would hunt for a super treasure hunt or a chase, because to me it's adding value to my collection in the sense
Yep.
that I get it, and that's what the value really is. I think to these collections is there's no rhyme or reason to size, magnitude, or why you collect what you collect. But if every time you flip on the light in whatever display area you have and you smile, that there's the value right there.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And I want the viewers to know kind of the vibe of the channel. Talking, you were telling this story about you met these guys at at a store and you beat them there by 5 minutes, maybe. You found a chase piece, and then just getting to talk with them. They asked an employee to come back and bring out any other stuff, and everybody walked home with something that day. And
Yeah.
I really appreciated how you uh there's never any gloating about getting a chase piece or anything like that. It's just for for everybody else's enjoyment. And also, when the time that you stumbled onto a 30 case dump bin and somebody beat you, you
Yeah.
weren't you weren't there weren't sour grapes there either. Like, I just really appreciate your attitude on hunting and how often we come up empty at these stores, and that doesn't have to ruin your day.
No, and I think that people have to realize also, David, that we have friends in this community, and we network, but it is a very competitive community.
Yep.
And so you have to realize that even the guys that you're out there sharing the community with and you're doing things with, they're competing with you for the exact same things that you're looking for. And rather than being sour or upset, I'm I'm as happy when they find something as when I, because it's almost like I found it. And I
Yeah.
and I it's a really great feeling because I know the exhilaration that they got, because I get that exhilaration as well. And so I was so glad to find that in the diecast community there are so many people not just willing to help with finding things, but willing to help in their community, willing to be a part of other people's lives. And so I think that that's what drew me to this. And so the collecting to me is more than the possessions. It's the people we foster friendships with along the way. And also, we really get a chance to know who we are as a person, because people are judging us, especially those of us who are, that have channels.
Yep.
We really just have to understand that um, people are watching the things that we do and that we say, and it's easy to do the things the right way when you're genuine about it. And so I I am open to meeting new people all of the time. I love that people find things. I get excited when you guys do. I know that's what really makes this community what it is. And I
What is moving the needle right now for you as you see new items come out? Is it more the stuff that Hot Wheels is doing, stuff Matchbox is doing, or is it some of these other international brands? Like, where are you kind of focusing your energy right now?
oh, I've been on a real majorette kick lately. I was hoping you would ask me this.
Heck
To
yeah.
me, this car right here is absolute perfection. This is the little AMG out of the Pink Slip series. And above all of the different cars that I was able to obtain from this little series, whoa, it was this one. I love it. I love the fact that they are able to do some of the things that Hot Wheels can't. And they're basically, to me, They are, if you took the best of Matchbox and the best of Hot Wheels and you merge them and they had a baby,
Yep.
that's a major. So when people walk right to the little blue card of their diecast aisle and that's their entire focus, they are missing an entire world of just awesome diecast that is out there. So yeah, that's what's moving the needle. There's a new one that's kind of sneaking in there on me, and I've really been paying a lot more attention to Greenlight.
Yeah.
So I'm fortunate enough at San Diego Comic-Con this past summer to meet the design team from Greenlight. They had a little table display set up. When they started explaining some of the thought process and why they select castings, they take a look at the major product on the shelf and they try to make sure that we are getting the vehicles that the other big producers will never give us.
Yeah.
That's their. And so as I start to think about what I want next, I keep that in mind. And I'm like, these guys put a lot of time and effort into selecting these models. They could have selected any casting, and they have a lot of the same licenses as the big companies like Mattel, but they choose to do the things that meet the needs of everyone. I think they offer a little bit of something for everyone, and I'm starting to grow an appreciation for these brands other than Mattel creations. So now when I was in Europe, there are dozens of assorted 5-packs that Majorette produces that we never see here. So I brought one back. So let's check that one out.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and show you this beauty right here.
Look at that.
So yeah, we've got the really nice Charger RT here, the exclusive Nissan GTR, which is what caught my eye, obviously. Beautiful Ford Mustang.
Yes, sir.
We've got another beautiful Mercedes AMG. And then the one that really, if you take a look at this, and I don't know if it's going to do it justice here in the lighting I have, but this Lamborghini Urus is absolutely just amazing.
Just a little bit, and yeah, there we go. Look at that, guys.
Here's another example. This is from Mini Champs. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that brand.
One of my favorites.
Oh, this thing right here. Absolutely gorgeous. Nice little Porsche 911 GT3. Just absolutely perfectly done. This is something you're going to get to see it opened for the first time. I have not opened this yet. This was this was the pinnacle of what I grabbed from Europe. This is what I was so excited about, and you're going to get to see it as I see it. So you ready for this one?
Let's do it, man.
So here's the box, if this gives you any indication of what you're going to see.
I love every bit of this so far.
All right, here we go. So this is one that in Italy, they have a few small toy chains, I would call, but they're really not like you would think. It's not like a Toys R Us. They're maybe one or two per city. And so if you find one, they're little gems. And this was an older lady who ran the store, and we had to haggle a little bit on this one because this was one of her gems that she had in her little special case. I could tell it was special because it was the only case in the entire store that was lighted and had everything kind of displayed in a certain way. So I was like, yep, that's what I need. So, all right, here we go. So I'll do it this way. So you see how the little flip down.
Look at wow. Yeah.
And then we're gonna get it out of its prison. I don't know how it is in your family, David, but I'm very fortunate. I have a very supportive wife who sees beyond the craziness of this hobby and just kind of lets me have a little fun with this passion. So here we go. This thing, wow. I'm getting some light over. See if that puts a little more light.
It's gorgeous.
This thing is absolutely perfect. Perfect. So for those that don't know, this is the 488 Challenge Evo. And these are numbered models. So cracking this box, this was not meant for value keeping. These are numbered to 700. So there's 700 total of these in this. And this is a Barago. So if you see the Barago box and you see the dark silver embossed writing, you know you have something special. So
well, this is definitely a treat. Yeah, man, look at that. Just some of the details that jump out at you as you're looking at it for the first time, what is different
Yeah.
about that than a lot of stuff in your collection?
So things in the same scale tend to really they really tend to gloss over some of the small details, like the air vents that are here on the side of the Ferrari as it comes up
Mm-hmm.
here. The engine detail on the back is spot on. It's even down to the Ferrari embossed intakes here, and with the Ferrari embossed horse right there, even down to the small sponsors on the bottom, which, I mean, they're clear, they're
Mm-hmm.
perfectly done. And I think that is why this is Ferrari's number one brand for production is Barago. They have the
Right.
biggest license for Ferrari, and this is why. This is what they produce for Ferrari. And
Mm-hmm.
so, and it's going to get displayed. I'm not going to put it back in the box just for now, but it's going to get displayed. It needs to be out there and breathing. So that's another thing, folks. Play with your cars, let them breathe. I know it looks like I have a lot of stuff in package behind me, but for everything that's in a package, I'm surrounded by loose castings that are all over the place that I like to touch and hold and feel. One other designer, if I'll be remiss to not mention this gentleman because I've met him twice now, and one of the greatest, I think the greatest Hot Wheel designers next to Ryo Asada. This is my
Mm-hmm.
second favorite Hot Wheel designer. But of course, I'm talking about the beautiful Kaido house from Junimai. And for those that are looking forward with Kaido house,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to spoil it because he hasn't announced this yet. But they acquired a couple new licenses. And so with that, I asked him what the possibility of getting my dream diecast made in diecast form, and he said, very, very likely. There's going to be some really great partnerships coming with them. And so I think that we're going to be very spoiled in 2024 in the premium diecast, Mini GT, Kaido House. Oh, one more brand, David. I don't know if you're familiar with these guys. And this was one that I didn't even know this brand existed. I don't know if you've heard of Sparky.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. When you say what's pushing the needle, this is another one that's pushing the needle. This one right here is on pretty much parallel footing with Inno 64,
Mm-hmm.
Tarmac Works. This is as to scale accuracy as any of those, but these are a little bit more discounted. So the
Yep.
Sparky company puts these out to where if you're scared off by the $20 price point of a Tarmac Works or a $35 Kaido House, Sparky is your really, that's how you enter into this market. And so there are so many different castings that they do for these Sparkies. Yeah, I still get excited on cars that I've had for a while when I pick them up again, and I think that's what's so great. I love this. I love that energy every time you touch something that you had a reason you bought it. There
Yep.
was a reason you did, and so, and I'm sure that's the same with your collection too.
You know, now that I've said Super Treasure Hunt, I was curious when we saw that wall, and that's a heck of a wall of trophies from finding those in the wild. What's your favorite one that you found out in the wild?
Oh wow, that's a hmm. Let me look at them for a moment. I'll tell you, it's two of them. And it's because for some reason, my little guy, my 11-year-old, his name is Cade, he is my lucky charm.
Yeah.
He is the one that really, if I'm on a super treasure hunt mission, he has to be with me because both major finds that I feel are major finds to me, he was with me. But the most meaningful was, and it's a silly one, is the Batmobile, the animated Batmobile from this
Okay.
year. We were together. We were at the Ralph's grocery store, which is Kroger for a lot of you guys, or whatever Kroger chain you have. And we were admiring just some of the normal cars that were on there. And and my son took the Batmobile out and he said, Dad, I really wish this one was the one you were looking for because this one has a really great paint job to it anyways. And he turned it and I saw it and it was clearly the Super.
Right.
And so we just had a moment together. That one to me has so much more prestige to it because, man, I shared it with somebody that I love, and we got excited like giddy kids in the store aisle together. And I that's the experience that's linked to it. So I would say that's my favorite one. The other one was I think it was in 2020. Yeah, 2020 was the gold Mustang Shelby.
Mm-hmm.
And that was another one that he spotted in the same type of reaction. Hey, this one looks great. It's very shiny,
This one's shiny.
right? It's so shiny, right? And so yeah, and that was so amazing.
Shane, it's, man, it's just so refreshing to talk to a collector like you that knows what's really important. It's the memories, it's the connections with the other collectors, and it is actually using our hobby to do good, which is kind of amazing to think that we can actually enjoy what we've liked as little boys, and now we can actually do good with it. I just commend you for how you approach your collection and your participation in the hobby, man. Well done. I want to ask what fans of Super JDM Diecast can look forward to in the coming year on your channel. Any ideas rolling around in there?
Yeah, so we're going to create a new series, and my sons have really been helping me develop this because, like I said, I want it to be a unique experience where when you watch, you're going to get something different, and it may be different every time that you watch. So, to give you a little information about what we're trying to do now, I want to do something similar to what we see with our friends that are in Malaysia and our friends that are in like where we're seeing the cars first. We don't really have something like that on a real like Americanized style. So I want to create a news desk style where we have up to date news,
Mm-hmm.
interviews with people like kind of like you're doing now, but little short interviews where we can get some of the new things that people all throughout the community are learning and getting that information out there, but creating it like if it's a news broadcast where we're going live to Georgia or we're going live to Alabama or live to Tacoma, right? And I think that'll be fun to kind of have that little bit of update and know what's going on in our community, and also life stories like you see on any
Yeah.
news, right, where we get a little bit of life stories built in there too.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be sneaky fun to do that and have a little bit of fun with it. We might even do a weather section too, that like hunting today in Buffalo was impeded by, and then we'll have
Right.
somebody there that's like, I tried to get to Walmart, but there, I want to have a little bit of fun with it. So I love that we have this platform. I love that we can do this. And so, yeah, I want to be creative with it. And then I think too, I'm going to start dabbling in the customization here a little
Heck
bit too.
yeah.
So
Absolutely. There we go.
So get ready for that. And I want to take people through a step-by-step process without it being an hour and 30 minutes. So kind of Jakarta diecast style, where this is what a novice goes through. I want to show the mistakes. I want to show the frustrations. I want to
Yeah.
show the start and do-overs. And so that people can really learn, because everyone that I've asked for help has been very, very gracious on tips and tricks and things like that. So I want to show people that, yeah, there are mistakes that are made, and it's okay to have an ugly custom because it's your custom, and be proud of what you've created, and try some new things and see what we can do. So there you go. Upcoming for 2024 in the JDM Super JDM Diecast realm. That's what you should be looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to it. Shane, again, man, thanks for coming on the show. It's been my pleasure to speak to you and get to know you and your collection. I feel like you're doing things the right way, and trust that will continue, because I can see how much it means to you and your family, and kudos to you for getting the family involved. You mentioned earlier about having a supportive wife. I have the same, because they know what brings us joy. Sometimes we're kind of simple creatures, little cars
Yeah.
can bring us joy, and that's important in this day and age when we got so much being thrown at us, is to find something that does that. Listen, it's been a treat. I want to be respectful of your time. We've been here for about an hour now, and I know you got things to do with your family. So thank you for coming by and hanging out with me on collections tonight. Is there anything you want to say to, as we kind of creep toward the finish line here?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody that is out there in the community, and there's a lot of people doing it the right way. And so there's a reason, David, you are one of my subscribed channels because I like the content. I love what you do. Diecast Breakdown. I get chuckles sometimes when you guys are bantering. It's some of the best bantering. I love it. I love the back and forth.
Well, listen, it's been a treat, and I know the viewers have enjoyed getting to know you. I'll go ahead and kind of wrap it here. Shane, thanks again. Viewers, hang around. We've got more incredible interviews lined up. Hope you've enjoyed getting to know Shane and his collection. Stop by Super JDM Diecast, and I know you will be glad that you did. So until the next time, guys, we'll see you on the next video. Take care.